Hello, guys. Welcome back. So, a lot of us this year are going to face some difficult decisions concerning the holidays. Maybe you gave up your Thanksgiving, maybe you didn't. That's already in the rearview mirror. You're facing Hanukkah or Yule or Kwanzaa or Christmas or whatever you got coming up. And you've got to face whether or not you are going home or having the kids come home or whatever. And I know this is hard because we all know what the guidelines are, but we all know what we also see people doing on TV. We know we see people having fancy parties in a big house for the holidays, and we see people going out to dine at 1% restaurants, and we see people going on vacation, these famous people going on vacation, and we're like, well, if they're all getting to do it, how about us? We're the people who really need it. We don't have the, financial freedom, most of us, to just drop everything we want to do and go on a vacation on an island. We don't have the financial ability to go rent, say, a lodge and have all of our families come and just live for the duration. We don't have the belief or, ability to ignore science that allows us to have fancy cocktail parties in a big house. Shade. We have science. And the problem with having that science is if you were watching Dr. Fauci, there was enough wiggle room in there that every Lokean was like, but I could both have a party and not have a party, depending on how I look at this. And it was I looked at Loki and he kind of shrugged and said, yeah, he kind of said both at the same time. And he kind of told you stay home, but keep parties small. And it's like it's one or the other. Keep just your immediate household, but if you're gonna have guests, have and I'm like, which one is it? Am I supposed to stay home? Give me hard, solid rules, not wiggle room, because that is the last thing you want to give a Lokean, because we're all foxy in nature, and we'll just kind of squiggle through that wiggle room he gave us. He gave us a wiggle room at Thanksgiving, and damn if he didn't give us it again at Christmas, and I'm like, damn it. Now it's just up to me to decide whether the fox wants to squiggle through the fence and get into the hen house or not. And, don't trust a Lokean to do the right thing. We're supposed to be honorable and have even more honorable and even higher ethics than everyone else because we're Lokeans and people are always looking at us rather intently. And it's pretty damn hard because you are the fox and you just found the big old hole in the fence and they're the chickens and they're really fat this time of year because Christmas is coming and you're licking your little foxy chops and damn, you could just walk through that fence and grab a chicken, waltz right out. It's like the farmer wants you to. And the at the same time you're being told if you are 65 or older, stay home, get your groceries and your medication delivered. Yeah, go ahead, go to church or have a party. I know it's confusing. And I know as a Lokian, I know you're tempted to dart right through that hole, grab a chicken, and hightail it out of there. Maybe come back and grab 2 or 3 more chickens, right? Because everybody else is doing it. You see all the other foxes having their fancy cocktail parties and doing all this other stuff. It's very hard as a Lokian sometimes to do the right thing. Loki especially seems to pick people who have a problem with doing the right thing, and believe me, I'm no different than any other Lokian. So it's kind of hard for us to remind ourselves do the right thing. He and Oda made sure I was going to be in and not having pizza parties because remember how merry we made last month? Well, now at the time we really should not be getting pizza delivered because he's an anti-masker or going to DQ because they're anti-maskers, half of them. I'm not in a position to. I'm not in dire straits, but I'm certainly not in a position to go out and make merry. We have enough food. We're fine because Odin kept having me stock up supplies, not to a crazy amount, but to an amount that will be fine for the month. And, also too, if I had to order groceries, I'd be fine, but it's not pizza time, just to be clear. And I looked at them, I said, it's like you guys saw this coming, but you didn't want to tell me and freak me out. And, the gods aren't going to tell us. No god or angel or saint has come down with a scroll and told me, on this day, at this hour, COVID shall be no more. Nobody's came down and told me that. Nobody's come down and told me expect a surge or anything else. Odin's been a little bit grimmer than usual in asking me if I'm ready to look at the holidays realistically, and but yeah, you saw that big old hole that Foxy left in the fence, right? You could squiggle in there and grab a chicken and run out. He said so, And he looked at me because really Fulci's just breaking down at this point and saying, well, you're going to do it anyways, fine, just at least do as little harm as possible, which is kind of what he actually said. But as a Lokean, you heard, oh, I can go to Christmas. That's what you heard. That is what you heard. I know it's what you heard because that's what I heard. And it's going to be up to each of us on our own to decide where we stand on this. Do we want to get together with our family? Even though we know he said no, but he also left the big old hole in the fence so the foxes can fit through. Or do we want to, play it safe and make a sacrifice and stay at home and maybe eat our own chicken or whatever we got going on? And it's going to be up to each of us. I don't believe in forcing my ethics or my decisions on you guys, but I will tell you that if you need to make the decision, ask Loki or whatever god or goddess you work with, ask them for a sign, ask them for 20 signs if you have to do the right thing. Because, obviously our friends and family miss us. A lot of people are going to be giving us invitations because we're all human. We all want to see each other. And we all clever foxes, whether we're Lokeans or not, and we're kind of looking at that huge old hole in the fence, and it seems to be getting bigger the more we look at it. And there's the chicken right on the other side of the fence. The farmer ain't around anywhere, so it's up to us to decide. It's up to us to decide. So we're not going to actually, give you too much guidance other than, yeah, we realized it too. You could interpret that vague kind of, you really shouldn't do this, but I know you're going to do it anyways kind of advice as go ahead and do it. I know that. I know as a Lokean, I'm like, yes, chicken, and jump through the fence hole and, grab a fat chicken and run away and be wagging your little tail. It's up to you guys. It's up to you guys. I'm not going to judge people that break down. It's been damn near a year for most of us since we really sat down, had dinner with family and friends, because we were being good little foxes, and as many holes as we saw on the fence, we weren't going through. I know it's a serious temptation, guys. I can't give you advice on what to do other than to talk to your gods. And if the invitations come from your friends and your family or whatever, to go by, what your heart is telling you, and your ethics will talk to you, whether you grew up in a church or synagogue or grew up complete atheist. Your ethics will talk to you. Your conscience, a little voice in your head that always ruins all your fun. Yeah, it will talk to you. It will talk to you. If, let's say, you agree to go to a party and you start feeling really bad, that's your conscience talking to you. That's your conscience saying, "Oh, we're going to a party, huh? Yeah, but I earned it. I didn't go anywhere this year. Yeah, that's nice. You're going to a party." If you feel fine, if you feel it will be safe, if you feel it will be social distance, if you feel it will be going by CDC guidelines and you're still going to go, you know, I'm not going to judge people for breaking down. I'm going to be very, very surprised with every single person who does manage to not break down at some point because, we did the socially distanced Halloween and maybe there were people that think we shouldn't have done that. We skipped Thanksgiving, as hard as that was, but, coming up on, Hanukkah and Christmas and Kwanzaa and Yule and everything else, I'm going to be very surprised with every person that goes, I see that hole in the fence, but I ain't going in and getting a chicken either. So, it's up to you guys. It's up to you guys. It's the most honest way we can do it. It's the most upbeat way we can do it because, we are probably going to plan on not going. That said, I am as human as everyone else, and I might get a call from an old lady in tears and sobbing, and oh, you don't know how sick I've been, how much I miss you. And if I break down and I'm human and I go, I go. The die is cast. But if I resist, I resist. It's time will tell. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's gonna be a kind of hard one on me because I'm a fox and there's the chicken. The chicken's just kind of sitting there. But, maybe she will be the one this time to say, no, I don't want to do this. And that would honestly be the safer option. But, we're all human. We're all human. The thing is, the only thing I'd tell you is talk to your gods. Talk to your gods and listen to your conscience. Your conscience is that little chimney cricket you got that's like, you really shouldn't ought to do that. I know that fence hole's there and that chicken is there, but you really shouldn't ought to do this, fox or no fox. So, it's going to be up to you guys. It's going to be up to you guys. It's going to be up to all of us as individuals. I don't know how well I'm going to do, especially if an old lady calls me in tears and sobbing, or old man calls me and says, you don't come see us anymore. We don't think you like us, and da 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 da. We're never going to speak to you again. It's going to be hard this year. It's going to be hard, especially, they're Christians. Christmas means so much to them. They won't be going to church this year. She's missed church all year. They're kind of fraying at the edges, and he's kind of going a little loopy because she's getting a little dotty, and it's hard. It's hard. I admit it's hard. So, guys, we just got to all stick together. And, we're going to plan to not go, but like I said, I'm human. I'm human. If there's too much temptation put in front of me, much like the fox with the chicken, I will be through that fence, grab the chicken, run away. We're going to do our very best for you guys. We're going to do our very best to try to plan to, spend the holidays with you guys instead. But, if we fail, we fail, and we will tell you guys, but we're not planning on failing. Other people can, have their parties and do stuff like that. And no judgment here, but it's up to each of us on our own to decide our ethics on this thing. So I feel like I just repeated myself 80 times, but that's what I'm at peace with. Everyone has to make their own judgment call on it. You do. You do. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you later. Bye bye.